Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Let's Go Bandcamping podcast. I'm your host Gavin Foster. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to be talking about, technically a three-song EP. Stumbled over my words a little bit there, but it's more of an A and a B side with an interlude. This is called Mondaze slash Bane by Old Saul. This band is from Naperville, Illinois. Though they also say they're from Chicago, so I assume it's around the area. I couldn't find what year they were formed in, but their earliest release is Spectral Signals from 2016. They also have all their music as well as a couple covers on SoundCloud. I really enjoyed their modern baseball cover, and I will provide links to all of this in the description. So if you want to check any of this out, feel free. Now, I found this band by listening to a cover of their a cover that their singer did, Alan Haskell. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize. I'm probably butchering the name. But he was doing a cover of Your Cat by Slaughtered Beach Dogs. I'm quite fond of. I'll provide a link to that in the description. And I just absolutely loved it. His voice is like I think the closest description I could get it to would be Manchester Orchestra, or what's that side project that he's in that I prefer? Bad Books, if anyone is familiar with them. Manchester Orchestra is huge, so of course. But his voice is somewhat similar to that. I absolutely positively love this, and also, before I begin, I just want to say that this is going to be a much, much shorter episode. I wasn't very happy with the first one, to be honest. I got way too analytical, and that is not what I want this to be. I just want it to be a regular music recommendation podcast. So I'm going to try to stray from that, though, and I have notes, but let's see what that leads me to talk about. Now, the first song is Mondaze, spelled Mondaze, with just great, great lead guitar. It sounds almost like something out of Closing Time by Semisonic, or any Semisonic song, honestly. Very, like very 90s alternative influence, and I absolutely adore it. I also love the lyrics, and like the last episode, I'm going to be reading some lyrics just because that's what's in my notes. But the format of this whole thing, I'm still trying to work out the kinks. I really like the chorus where he goes, "Here's to you, shut the fuck up, my alarm clock is an asshole. Playing all of the old songs, getting up is a total hassle." I really like when any song has a Mrs. Robinson allusion. Mainly People Too by Andrew Jackson Jihad / AJJ. It's honestly, I think I might prefer that to actually Mrs. Robinson by, oh no, what was their names? Simon and Garfunkel, of course. But I really like those lines, and not to get too analytical here like the last episode, but it's just extremely relatable. I hate my alarm clock too. And just, again, I love Mrs. Robinson allusions. And then some more lyrics that really stood out to me were, "I can't keep waking up at 2. I must confront. I must adjust." Oh, I'm sorry. Misread that. "I can't keep waking up at 2. I must confront. I must confront. I must adjust the fact." I can't read my handwriting. I am so sorry. It is just chicken scratch. It's either I must confront, I must adjust to the fact that I'm living with the blues. And then especially the guitar right out of this chorus. It's huge Closing Time vibes. I absolutely love it. The whole song kind of sounds like that. Not to say that they're ripping it off or anything. It just kind of gives me that feeling, same feeling of the song. A lot of this podcast today is going to be me attempting to read handwriting I wrote a week ago. I've had these notes just kind of sitting here, and work and school have just been busy or lazy. I'm kind of both. Um, I really like the coughing where he goes, "I'll pack a bowl to soothe my soul," and in between that, there's just like some heavy coughing. Just it was a good laugh. What else do I have here? Oh, the guitars, extremely punchy. I really love this. I love the entire instrumentation of this song. It really stood out to me. Um, and I've already talked about the clearly the '90s influence that they have in this, but I honest to goodness loved it. Um, what do I have? And the tambourine at the end was a nice touch, and then finally the quick little solo they had at the end was just rad, and I really think it helped finish off the song. Let's move on to the interlude. Said that weird. Now, there's really not much to say here. It's very atmospheric. I don't tend to like interludes, but I enjoyed this one. It's not something I skip when I listen to these three tracks. It's really dark. You know, it starts in a little differently than how you think the track is going to go, and then there's like a sudden rush of these cymbals, and then just a stop, and then really low, dark, deep, atmospheric guitars, very echoey, as well as some echoey vocals where he repeats some lines from the previous track, Mondaze, and it's just a really eerie song. Um, I love it. um, oh, saying way too much. I gotta stop doing that. It took an hour editing out half of the ums from my last podcast, so I'm not editing this one, so let's try to be better. It's just a great, chilling, dark interlude, and I really think it leads pretty well into the B side of this, um, uh, Bane. Now, before that, I also just noticed I have in all capital letters wind chimes that really add to this chilling, dark, and eerie tone that is at the very end of the song. It's just, I don't know, it just gives me the worst vibes, or gives me the worst feeling in like the best way, if that makes any sense. Now let's get on to Bane. Now Bane is kind of like the opposite of Mondaze completely, and I don't mean that it's bad. I just mean that it's just way more heavier. Mondaze was like light, '90s alternative referencing song, just really light, kind of not happy lyrics by any means, but it's just more about like laziness. And this is just darker lyrics, heavier guitars. It's a very bass heavy song, which I personally dig so much. Huge fan of bass. Let's see. Now going into some more lyrics that I enjoyed. Let's see. I'm dead inside, so cut me and see what makes me tick. Pulling my jaw, stuck your fist in me or it. Stick your fist in it or me. I couldn't figure out which lyric was it. Clench your teeth and something. I can't read this bottom one. And this last line I actually have something to say about. Rip me up and break up my apathy. Now that's just really interesting imagery. And if you listen to me drone on in the last episode, big fan of imagery. Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Rip me up and break up my apathy. I don't know. Just like the line. Let's keep going. This is a short as hell episode, but that's all right. And yeah, it's just much darker in tone. Like I said, this is more about being hollow and apathy, but like, and the negative light of apathy. Or Mondaze was more like, yeah, I'm lazy. I really should stop doing that, I guess. This is more like, this is bad. I can't keep going. And oh no. We're not even 10 minutes in. I'm at the end of my notes. I really enjoy this. I'm going to check out Spectral Signals. I have listened to a little bit of it I don't think I'm gonna like it as much as this, but I have nothing but high hopes to hear more from this band, as well as more covers from Elon Haskell. I'm butchering that name. I just know it. Now, I do want to mention, since we're at the end of this episode, I plan on doing a format change. And what I mean by that is I'm not just going to keep talking about something I find out of the blue, just one like music project from Bandcamp per episode. I want to condense it, talk about more projects per episode, because I really just feel like, you know, it, I'm really stretching with this episode and especially the last one just to find something to talk about. I don't think, you know, I know enough at the moment to really know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just want to. It's gonna be more projects per episode, is what I'm saying, and not to say that there won't be any solo episodes, but when that happens, it's more likely I have a guest that I can have a rapport with, whether it be from the band that I'm talking about or just someone that also dug the project that I could talk about with. Um, yeah, but until then, I've been your host, Gavin Foster, and thank you for listening to the Let's Go Bandcamping podcast.